Hello world, I'm Chris Pirillo, and you've tuned in to another live edition of the LockerGnome Daily Report, or TLDR for short. Not just the news, but answers that you can use, like an answer to the question, how many bonuses do my patrons really get? A lot. And I'm about to give them even more. I've been experimenting, of course, with the patron model, and if it weren't for them, I wouldn't be able to do the things that I'm doing. So I'm deciding to change it up a bit. And I realized that one of the bigger values that I have with the community at large is not just how a lot of this plays in video, but specifically my insight, and not just answering questions, which of course today is an AMA edition. I'm again tweaking the model, if only because I want to double down on the people who have doubled down on being there for me. Honestly, that's the way it is. And I know you're all there for me, and not everybody can be one of the supernomies, a patron. That's fine. I love you all the same. But, I've had to make some pretty steep changes recently because the industry has really changed a lot, like by a massive degree. And I actually have to kind of scale back. I can't do more outright for everybody because it's almost too much. I got to scale back. I actually have to scale back. And less is more, or so I've learned. Over the weekend, I posted my review of the 2015 Mitsubishi Lancer, and this was a surprise to me. I've only done like one other car review, and that was posted in my classic YouTube channel, Chris Pirillo, and I'm surprised. It tracked better than about anything that I've done recently, which is interesting because I'll be honest with you, I don't care about cars. Which I know it's horrible, but I look at them and I don't see things the way that car reviewers see them. And Liz had explained to me, that's why she thinks that the car review did so well. I believe the car review may have done so well because of search, people searching specifically for that particular car review. And I'm always going to give it to you that way. Taking some feedback, I think it's something that's going to happen on a regular basis. I'm getting new cars on, I think, every other week or every week or so. It depends on which car it is. Currently driving an electric Soul. I have an electric Soul. Well, I don't have it. I'm actually returning the two leased vehicles that I've had for the past 3 years, or we've had around here, if only because I'm doing this, single car review cycle. So a lot more car reviews coming down the pike. None of them are going to be like typical car reviews. They're going to be my experiences. And I'm going to do my best to, film inside, and outside and everything and do what people expect. But at the same time, it's still pretty much just my thoughts on the matter and, how I care to talk through those kind of reviews. So that was a surprise to me, honestly, over the weekend to discover that. The patrons already have my Prius V review. I just did a Prius C review that I haven't encoded yet, but that'll be going out to the patrons soon. Everybody else eventually will get those videos. But again, I got to give priority to the people who give me priority. That's pretty much all it is. I love y'all. I really do. Posted the comic review for Star Wars Kanan 001. Very excited about that series. Wasn't expecting to be, but it really did surprise me. That video is up in my classic channel. 4 Ways Starbucks Makes Me Happy, a.k.a. the Starbucks Strawberry Smoothie review. This is another surprise to me. When I review a Starbucks food or drink, apparently y'all like it. Okay, fine, I will keep doing it. See, that's the thing. I discover what y'all like from me, and I'll do more of that. That's how it works. Orbit 3-in-1 wireless nano loudspeaker, 55% off. Deals.lockergnome.com. We also have the new MacBook giveaway for free. Deals.lockergnome.com. And the Learn to Code 2015 course bundle, 94% off at deals.lockergnome.com. Today is National Grilled Cheese Day. I posted reposted one of Diana's videos for how she makes bacon grilled cheese sandwiches. That was in my Facebook page, or on my Facebook page, in her YouTube channel. And then I found on Amazon this, you can put Jesus in your grilled cheese, or on bread. If you want to see Jesus in your grilled cheese, there's a product for that. I love finding those kinds of wacky products. I really do. They're fun. Why wouldn't you know that would be fun? Unless you don't want to put Jesus in your grilled cheese. I keep saying drilled cheese. Not so much. All right. Now, to answer the question, do I ever answer the questions on the Facebook threads? The answer is yes. I'm going to be flying through these. It's a busy Monday for me. Jacob Harrington asks, how excited are you for Star Wars to finally be on digital? That was something that happened, was it Friday? God, it seems like so long ago. Did that just happen on Friday? I think it did. Friday, right? Gosh. Wow. Time flies. I'm excited. I'm happy to have them, if only because it's more convenient to have them that way than any other way. I have not even watched them. I've seen Star Wars and the movies a billion times. That's hyperbolic, by the way. The not to be confused with Hyperspacek, the which would be a great name for a show, Hyperspacek. Yeah, I'm gonna write that down. Hyperspacek. I should be careful. Hyperspacek. No one would be able to spell that. That's a horrible name. So, I'm using my awesome pen. I love this pen. It's one of my favorite pens of all time because it has 4 colors inside. I dreamed of having this pen when I was a kid. Yeah, that's right. Nerd. And proud of it. So, I don't have all of the movies downloaded. I ended up getting them through iTunes after asking you where you were going to be getting them. I got them through iTunes, if only because I was able to exchange my gift cards that I'd earned in iTunes, courtesy of go.tagjag.com/free apps and go.tagjag.com/free points. It's how I get a lot of the things that I happen to get, including pins like these. But the goal, I guess, for me is not necessarily owning Star Wars again. It's the medium. I'm not lazy. I've had the DVDs for some time, never got the Blu-rays, and just having them digital is just knowing, oh, okay, I can watch it right now if I wanted to. Pull it up, play it in the background, whatever I wanted to do. I may be watching it on an upcoming trip, too. All 6 movies. It's going to be a long flight. Not that long. Diogo Matos asks, would you like to visit Portugal? Sure, why not? I assume you guys have good food down there. Molly Fanton asks, do you like the classic or newer Doctor Who? Never really got into the classic. Classic sci-fi is a little campy for me. That's the best way to frame it. The newer series I'm very, very happy with. Although Capaldi's Doctor, I haven't really gotten into. I'm trying. Obviously, I'm going to give him a go. We're 1 season in, and Claire is the character that keeps me tuned into Doctor Who. Now, it's not Capaldi. Still a Tennant fan. Tennant is my doctor. My cousin, Mary de Garcia, asks, have you ever gotten a pimple right in your eyebrow? Yes! Not right now, though. My current pimple, because it moves, I guess, is in my left nostril. TMI? Possibly. Linda Moore asks, how is 42 the answer to everything? Well, Linda, that's a great question. I will let you know in a few months. Andrew M. Roberts, who would you like better, Anakin Skywalker or Darth Vader? Well, Anakin is Darth Vader. Well, apart from, I guess personality-wise. Anakin Skywalker, the best Anakin Skywalker out there is in the Clone Wars, the cartoon series. That's the best Anakin Skywalker as far as I'm concerned. Of course, Darth Vader. I'm going to have to vote on Darth Vader pretty much every time you ask me this or Darth Vader, including Bacon or Darth Vader. I'd probably go Darth Vader. Steve Ida Solberg Reed asks, what's your opinion on iOS 8.3? Have I talked about this yet? I haven't done an iOS. That's a good point. Thank you. iOS 8.3 review. And I should also do an OS 10.10.10.3 review. Okay, I will be doing those reviews, likely separate videos, Q&As with you and me, if only because I'm sure y'all are interested in my thoughts. So, thank you, Steve. I will base that on an upcoming Q&A because I don't know if I have a lot of time to dive into it right now. Adam Horn asks, do you work sun up to sundown? How do you stay focused on what you need to do? Adam, I'm really feeling scatterbrained anymore because there are a lot of things that I need to pay attention to, a lot of things that have to happen, and so many of the decisions that I make impact other people's lives. And that's very stressful to me, quite honestly. Where LockerGnome.com used to be, a place where we, post helpful content. The helpful content that we posted there just got never seen by the people who were looking for the help. They were going everywhere. And so we had to change our model. We had to pivot. And LockerGnome.com is not necessarily on the cusp of another pivot, but we just have to evolve what it is. To accommodate it. And in doing so, we kind of have to make some, like I said, changes, cutbacks. And I don't know exactly how it's all going to play out yet. I only have so many resources on hand, not just people, but the ability to pay those people to do their job. And, it's, where it's crucial for me to find what you want from me so I can give you more of it and know that I'm going to be able to pay the bills while I can do it. Because no one can do anything and just, break their back for somebody else, or you shouldn't break your back for somebody else. I stay focused because it needs to happen. It's got to get done. Today I've got certain tasks that I need to pound through, returning the cars for one. editing yesterday's vlog for another, writing down a few more things, planning ahead, trying to accommodate everything that I know needs to happen. And I've let a lot of things kind of slide where I'd normally not let them slide. My desk is currently an absolute mess. I mean, just you have no idea. I mean, maybe you do, maybe you've seen it, but I've even hidden it from the blogs because it's just a mess. It annoys me, and I know I've got to push through it, but it's just accommodating it in my head and figuring out how I'm going to grow from point A to point B. Roop Sarkar asks, what kind of Apple Watch are you ordering? Already answered that question, Roop, but since I do know your name, it is a black sport watch. That review is forthcoming. The unboxing is likely going to be a patron exclusive. The review, as we do it, again, patrons get it first, everybody else later, and maybe patrons even get behind the scenes stuff. I'll give them more because they've given me more. Christy Dolan Sandhoff asks, how can Seattle get some water down to drought-stricken SoCal? I thought California was sending water up here. That's one of their main exports. Really strange. I don't have an answer to that question. Naomi Hunt asks, what's the one thing about being a dad that scares you the most? Making the wrong decisions. That scares me about being an entrepreneur. It scares me about being a man. Scares me about being myself, doing anything. I think just making the wrong decisions. Any decision I make is going to have repercussions, and I think that's everybody's life, really. If I decide to, I mean, apart from hey, using green to write down these notes, that doesn't impact anybody's life. But deciding which way I'm going to go or what I'm going to do, what's going to happen, is certainly going to make an impact, and it is stressful. It genuinely is, but it's something that I think I've been able to handle. Landon J. Isles asks, what are you looking for most in the cars you are trying out? Tech. I'll be flat out honest with you. Honestly, as much as many people just want me to talk about tech, tech kind of bores me. It's exciting, it's interesting, but it bores me in the sense that you've seen it over and over and over again, but so much of it is just poorly implemented that honestly, I've burned out. A lot of the gadgets that you might buy or think about buying are just junk. They're sold to you, and you buy them, and they kind of work, but then they kind of break, and they suck. And a gadget that doesn't provide a good experience sucks, and I got tired of looking at things that sucked. Or, oh, look, it's another speaker. I'm into the design of things, I'm into the flow of things, I'm into the overarching experience. So with cars, much like with tech, and my approach is not like, ooh, cars, or ooh, tech. I mean, the only thing I do this, ooh, Star Wars. I do that for, ooh, Lego. But cars and tech, not so much. More cars and tech, I'm like, we'll see. So I look at it from an experience. And does the tech work? Does it work well? Is it a good fit? Is it a good experience? Driving all the way to, just feeling like this is a vehicle you could spend some amount of time in. And I think that's the spend amount of time ability is really, I think, the experience that I'm looking for. And there are very few cars that I think earn that mark, if I can put a finer point on that. The not even drivability, just like the spendability. Like, can I spend time in this car? But tech, I mean, honestly, the implementation of technology in cars is probably the thing that I'm interested in most, if only because tech has become very crucial to cars. And I will slag a car if I feel like its nav system sucks. I will slag a car if I feel that it's trapped in the past. And this is something I learned, honestly, in the car review I did. The only one that was posted recently, the 2015 Mitsubishi Lancer review. Apparently, car enthusiasts like analog gauges. And they're going to hate my reviews. Car enthusiasts, not every one of them, they're probably going to hate what I'm saying because I'm not talking to them. I don't do reviews for people who enjoy the stuff. I try to do reviews in tech or in cars for the people who need to buy something. They value my advice. Someone who already knows everything, they don't value my advice. They don't value what I have to say. I'm not going for them. So the thing is like, every car reviewer or classic car enthusiast, car lover, whatever you want to call them, hates or dislikes digital because it's not accurate. I hate analog because it's... I never liked analog, ever, going all the way back to telling time. Never. I've never, ever liked analog readouts, ever in my entire life. Damn accuracy. I don't care. So I'm doing my reviews of tech and of cars like me, a real person, a consumer who just needs it to do the thing. That's it. I and I wasn't trying to prove in the video like how little I know about cars. It's like, I don't care. Horsepower, you Google it, like I don't know. It goes. It's fast. It's got good acceleration. I feel safe. I'm not a car reviewer, and I think that's what made the car review so well. I'm not a tech reviewer. I mean, I will rip something apart if I find a problem with it, or I'll tell you I don't think it was a good experience. I thought they could have done better. It was sloppy. It was good. Whatever it was. I don't look at it the way that typical reviewers do. I've never been a reviewer, ever. I'll talk about experiences. I'll go through experiences. And to me, even a car is no longer a standalone mechanism. It's just like devices. It's a one experience amongst an archipelago of experiences. And the people this is going to drive nuts are the core people who might, think that I'm just like them. I'm like, I don't geek out over cars. I don't geek out over tech. I mean, I like it. I appreciate it. But, I also see it for what it is. And the people who get mad at me are the people who don't see it for what it is. It's a tool. It's a means to an end. It's designed to be upgraded. It's designed to be changed. It's a tool. It's a piece of equipment. So I look at it that way. It's a piece of equipment. And that's it. I don't love pieces of equipment for what they are. I love pieces of equipment for what they do. Honestly. So there's your answer, Landon. Sam Freuer asks, have you tried the Smacked Live app, and what do you think of the concept? Never even heard of it. Odin Ragnarok asks, I realize I probably slaughtered your last name there. Do you think that we'll lose the typical Windows desktop in the near future and lose that usable space where you play around with files and folders? I hope so. I want to get past that. And again, I know Windows people, classic Mac people, you're living in the past, man. I try to live without files and folders today. Honestly, it's hard to do because it's a classic paradigm. But we're going to reach that point at a point in the future, 10 years from now, where like an app, right? You don't think about where your files or folders are. You just launch the app and your files or folders are there. And I think that's the way it's going to be. So yes, I think you're going to lose it in 10 years' time. So, better prepare for the future. I think that's going to be the future, and I'm fine with that. I'm quite okay with that. This is one of the reasons I love the Star Wars digital movies, to go back to that. I don't want to track it. I don't want to manage it on a network. I don't want to store it somewhere. Why do that? I just download it from the cloud. I don't have it on a device. I'll re-download it from the cloud. Doesn't bother me a bit. Not one bit. Mike Jameson asks, will James Earl Jones reprise the vocal role of the Dark Lord? I would assume, if he needs to step in. Omar Castellanos, do you use credit cards? Try not to. Stay out of debt. That's my motto. It's another reason why I'm not picking up another car lease or a used car or a new car. I think they're expenses I don't necessarily need, especially now that I'm doing the car reviews on a revolving basis. It's just money just thrown away. Otherwise, because I have an opportunity to try different vehicles and to translate those experiences, which I guarantee are going to turn into sales. Enough people do searches for car reviews. Amar Ali Shah asks, some tips for someone looking to start a podcast. Do it. Just do it. Record it somehow, and you'll figure it out. You'll figure out what's comfortable for you. There are a lot of ways you can do it, but unfortunately, I don't have a lot of time to dive into it outright. And I think the biggest problem or thing that's stopping people from doing something like that outright is just doing it and figuring it out. That's it. I wish there were better apps out there that made it easy to work stem to stern with a podcast. There isn't. It's still very much roll your own. SoundCloud kind of has it going on, but it's still kind of in beta as well. You have to be opted into that particular part of the process. Harold George Simmons III asks, how do you feel about Nintendo taking down the Super Mario 64 HD project? I don't know what it is. Well, here's my thoughts. It's Nintendo's. Wah, wah. It's not yours. It's Nintendo's. Sorry. But, and what are you going to do? I wish Nintendo would do more to embrace their community. That's my perspective. So it's not that I'm saying that they're right to do it, but it was their right to do it. I'm not saying they were right. I'm saying it is their right. And honestly, if people don't like that, the best way to vote is with their wallet. Stop buying Nintendo things. Stop doing Mario things. That's the only way to respond to something like that. Nintendo will get the message. Or, you can get mad at Nintendo for protecting their rights. It's not reasonable to do that. Kaylin Lovins, what are some of the things you write down to say in your first video blog if it was your first time blogging? I don't know. I just kind of go with the flow. I don't know what I'm going to vlog until the day happens, usually. I haven't even picked up the vlog camera today. It's kind of been one of those mornings. I periscoped. I'm trying to periscope every day, like in the morning, as I'm drinking my coffee, just to kind of think through my thoughts, process things, get things going. Just talk, I think ultimately that's what people like tuning into in vlogs, is just people talking. I could probably do a better job with that too. I've done my vlogs in a different way. Mine are more like entertainment vlogging. Like there's a crossover there. We're about out of time, so I'm going to run through a couple more questions. Mohammed Rumia asks, do you think that Chrome OS is the future of the PC? Yes, I do. I really do. People don't want to mess with the things that they've messed with typical PCs over time. Now, I know all you gamers out there are like, the PC, well, keep whining, okay? Most people don't want that as a PC experience. Most people want, for a PC experience, something that just works, something like a Chrome OS. Most people don't need to edit video. I do. In fact, I just got the new Final Cut Pro 10 update and compressor update this morning. Kind of excited to dive into what they've changed, including like 3D titles or something. I don't get much into the production side of things, but most people don't go that far. They just want to check their email, do social, photos, basic videos. Simple rules of the roost, and Chrome OS is simple. Joseph Batchoy asks, Chris, what screensaver are you using? That's just a default in OS 10. Brian Hemley asks, are you excited to see what the LG G4 has to offer, the reveal on April 28th? I didn't even know it was a thing. It's another smartphone. It's a new Android phone. It's a new LG product. That's cool. But what is it going to do that's really going to stand out, apart from living inside the LG ecosystem? And there isn't much of an LG ecosystem. I mean, I have an LG refrigerator. I'm not slagging LG at all. Like LG a lot. I mean, the refrigerator's kind of falling apart, but that's not the point. I'm not saying that their phones are going to fall apart, but for LG to succeed, it needs to tie into its ecosystem, and I don't see that happening. I mean, it would be great if I had an LG phone and it interoperated with my LG other appliances. That's what I said Samsung needs to be doing. But LG is not doing that. So what's it going to bring to the table that's going to, accelerate it? I don't know. What's going to make it better than other things? I don't know. A better camera, maybe? I don't know. I would like to try one, but I'm not the kind of person who does reviews. And sometimes when you get review units, you kind of have to cater to the manufacturer, or you have to cater to the carrier that is offering it to you. Sometimes, not always. Luckily, I've worked with companies that they've given me a lot of freedom, and I've really, really appreciated that. Verizon, for one, has given me a lot of the freedom in the work that I've done for them. They've been one of the best companies that I've worked with in terms of creating content for them to help their community. But right now, I don't really have any plans on getting the LG G4. I thought about doing something. It's called Gift Starter. It's a local company that I found this weekend where you can pledge a certain amount for a gift to be given. And I thought, what if I did that for gadgets that you want me to review? And of course, the patrons kind of get a ride into that, but you would be able. I'd probably get the LG G4. Like, I'd find out how much it cost, figure out my costs, and then make that review an exclusive. My LG G4 review exclusive to the patrons or the people who pledge for that campaign. But they haven't quite figured out how to make the campaign ad infinitum. So if you weren't able to back the campaign to watch the review, you'd have to become, you want to buy it a la carte and you couldn't. You'd have to kind of become a patron. So I thought about that. I'm going to experiment with that. And I asked people what's the next product they want me to review. And Apple Watch was it. I'm like, well, I already got an Apple Watch coming down the pike. So, but the problem is I don't know if there are enough other people in our community who are interested in me talking about the LG G4. That would be a way to discover what exactly you wanted without me running into a problem. Because the problem is, if I spend $800, $500, $300 on a product to do a review, with ad revenue, I can't make $300 on a product review. Just likely, in the lifetime of that review, I'm likely not even going to recoup the cost. At which point I go, unless I get the product for free to review and then possibly, most likely send back, I can't do it unless I can figure out how to cover my costs. And that's something that's very, very difficult to explain. So I'm not excited at all about the product because I've tried LG products in the past. They've worked fine, but I'm ambivalent. It's not smartphones aren't my thing. Never really have been. What's one thing that made you smile today? Asks Jackson Domino. Jedi. She makes me smile every single day. Really, no other questions in the flow of things. So Thomas Reed asks if I'd accept the challenge of a day where you have to use Windows XP as your OS. Not in my lifetime. That's never gonna happen. I value that day. I don't want to lose it. Thank you for asking questions. I do appreciate all the support you're giving. I'm gonna roll into the patron hangout now. We do that every day. The tech topic today that we're going to be diving into, I wrote it down somewhere. Hang on. I got it. I know I have it somewhere. Give me a second. I got to pull this up. Notes. Give me a second. I have it down. Ideas. There we go. Oh. Geeky entertainment options. It's a general topic. Geeky entertainment. I will let you use your imagination. That's the topic of conversation I'm going to go into right now. You're more than welcome to join us. Thanks again for your time. At this point, however, I'm going to leave you to your own devices.